Hello, my name is Chris Fody and welcome to another edition of DDPY post-concussion syndrome. Now, this episode is titled Smackdown Special. And, DDP introduced something in his Week 3 Motivational Monday video. And the moment I saw it, it just really inspired me. DDP is always talking about make this your own. Take what he has and transform it into what works best for you. And that's exactly what I've done. So this video is going to be just a tiny bit longer than usual because I'm going to explain how I took something of his and made it my own. So DDP goes on to talk about his goal setting system. And bless his heart, he's inspirational, but he just makes me laugh sometimes. I think he's an awesome guy, but he calls it Smackdown. He's really keeping that wrestling theme, so kudos on him. But I'm not going to go into specifics of what his system is. If you want to find out more, you have to get onto his system to learn more about it. Now, the thing is that if this really works for DDP, I can't say anything about it. It's his system and it works for him. But as DDP constantly says, make it your own. And this system here, just reading it, it doesn't really do it for me, I could force myself to do it. I could look at it as he's been successful, he's done some wonderful things, and I want to achieve that success. So if I want to achieve his success, I should do it the way he did it. But again, he wants you to make it your own. So that's exactly what I've done. And my system is called Special. Now, for any nerds out there, you'll recognize the word special from the Fallout series. And yes, that's where I got the initial inspiration when I'm like, okay, so let me design my own system. Well, it should be special from Fallout. It was just, that's the first thought I had, so that's what I went with. And for the most part, it wrote itself, but, I worked at it to really make it succinct. So, what is special? It stands for state your plan. Plan it out. Explore your options, create milestones, indict your plan, activate, and learn. So let's go over those individually. Let's start with S. State your plan. This is very important. You might have some rough goals of what you want to do. And this isn't just for DDPY, this is for everything that I'm doing. Though DDPY is something I want to do. For instance, one of my plans is to lose weight. So, I want to be 200 pounds 1 year from now. It's currently December right now, and you'll probably watch this in 2019, but December 2018, by December 2019, I want to weigh 200 pounds. I'm at 263 right now. It should be very doable. It will be challenging, but I think I can do it. Okay, so I've stated my goal there. Next is plan it out. Well, I need to start eating healthier. I've spoke to my mom about this. Yes, I do live with her. I'm disabled, can't work, so yeah, I live with her. I told her about my plan. And she's like, well, I need to lose weight too. Let's do it together. Okay, that seems like a good plan. I'm doing the yoga system, and I want to do that all the time now. There is a basic plan. Work out, eat healthy. That's really what you need to do. Just keep building myself up. Okay, so that seems like a good plan. Let's explore the options. Now, what I mean by this is, really look at your plan. Yeah, I have some general plans, but let's look at that specifically. Well, eating right, that means reducing the amount of junk food I'm eating. eating things more like quinoa, maybe reducing my red meat intake, eating a lot more vegetables, which will be challenging because I already eat a lot of vegetables, but, you know, try to avoid cheaper food and try to go for more healthier food. Now, I'm on a limited budget, so, you know, I eat ramen. I hate that stuff, but it's food. You know, one thing I've started doing is, instead of having burritos, because refried beans has a lot of fiber in it, I've started to eat tostadas, and I've put spinach on top of my tostadas. Yes, I still use cheese because, well, you know, I love cheddar cheese, but, you know, I'm putting things on top of it that is healthy for me. So that's exploring my options, looking at it, trying to get more specific details on it. Next is creating milestones. Now, something that often happens for people is, you know, they have these grand goals, which is good. Have some grand goals. But then after a little while, they look at it and it's like, oh, it's just way too big. It's way too complicated. You know, I just don't think that I can really do it. I have found that the best way to tackle a tough problem, whether it is a goal you have or any situation that comes to you that you need to deal with, is to break it down into smaller components. By breaking it down into smaller components, you actually make it easier for yourself to deal with. Take a big problem and divide it up, like my weight loss. I want to lose 60 pounds in a year. Well, if I divide 60 by 12, I get 5. So every month, I need to lose 5 pounds. And break that up further. I need to lose 1.25 pounds every week. I mean, if I start eating healthy and I start working out, you know, full time, start really digging into DDPY instead of doing it 3 times a week, 1.25 pounds a week, that's nothing. So suddenly this big number of 60 is now 1.5. I have broken it down to not just months, but to weeks. And this is a small example. I mean, I do this for a lot of things, but breaking it down into smaller steps. And I call them milestones. That when I, you know, by January, I want to be 5 pounds lighter. By February, I want to be 5 pounds lighter. And when I hit these milestones, I know I'm progressing. So the next one is indict your plan. What is indict? Well, it means to write down. It's a fancy word for saying write down. So, I mean, I had to find a way to put write down somewhere in this. So, here is a picture. And you're going to see my whiteboard there. And right next to it is all of these post-it notes. Now, I'm looking at it right now. You can't see it from my vantage point. But I see them all right there. A few of them are upside down. So I have written down my plans. Now, there's a lot of leeway on how you want to do this. You don't have to use my post-it note system. You can get a writing journal or put it on a blog somewhere, put it on some website, somewhere, but you need to write your goals down. Now, these post-it notes are milestones. Like, there's a milestone that says 260 pounds. I weigh 263 pounds right now. So very soon, I'm going to take that off. Now, I want to do this once a month, but I might find that I'm doing these a lot faster. You know, maybe the next time I give plasma, next Wednesday, I'll be at 260 pounds, so I'll just take that off. And then before I hit February, I might be at 255 pounds. Take that off. And just keep taking them off. I have my DDPY goals up there. You know, I want to do it for 1 month. Well, after this next coming week, I'll take that off. And then I got 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. And for me, this is continuous. Like if I stop, I have to start all over again with my milestones. So long as I am doing it once a week, that's good enough for me, but I do plan on doing it more, and I'll discuss that in just a moment. So I have written down my milestones. Now, it would seem that by the end of the year, I want this wall to be cleared off, but it's not going to be. Because as I continue to evolve, as I continue to do things, I'm going to be creating new plans and new milestones and putting it up there. What I'm hoping, though, is that all of these that are up here right now will be gone by the end of the year next year. And in its place will be new goals that I'm constantly working on. So you can use my system, write down the milestones, put them on the wall, and remove them as you've accomplished them, or find a way to write it down to where you can constantly see it and maybe cross things off. You can write out the full plan if you want to. You don't have to do just the milestones, but remember the milestones. So probably the most important one next to the writing is to activate. And what I mean by activate is a lot of people like to delay when they start something. Like they'll say, oh, I'll start it first of the year, or I'll start it the first of the month, or I'll start it next week. I'll start it on Monday. That we need a grand beginning. Like just some day that seems like a logical place to start something. And oftentimes when people delay something, they never end up doing it. Which is why when you make a plan, activate it. Do it right now. Set it in motion. Now, as you can see from the picture, I have a lot of different goals. And I'm not necessarily doing all of them at once, but they're constantly on my mind. In some form or fashion, I am working on them. I'm not saying, oh, well, I'll do that like 2 months from now because I need to finish this up. I'm like, if I get a free moment, I'm going to put some work towards it because I'm always working. There's always something for me to do every single day. And maybe I might need a break from one of my goals up there. Maybe I'm like, you know what? I've been working on this a lot lately. Let me put it on pause and work on something else for a little bit. And work on one of my other goals. But the most important thing is that you just start. Don't delay. Start right now. Activate. The last is learn. And what I mean by learn is that this is a process. Now, some who try to have a goal, they're going to fail along the way. We like to hear the term failure is not an option, but, failure is an option. A failure is necessary for our development because from failure, we can learn. People often treat failure as a reason to stop doing something. Hey, maybe 6 months from now, I'm only at 250 pounds. I should be at like 230 pounds by then. But, I'm not. I'm like so far behind, and maybe I'm not going to reach my goal. Well, they'll just stop. They'll just be like, you know what, it's not worth it, I'll try again next year. No. Figure out why you're not achieving your goal. Now, maybe you set too high of a task for yourself. Maybe there's some extenuating circumstances that you couldn't have accounted for. Go back through special. State your goal, plan it out, explore options. And the explore options part is the key here. Why couldn't you have done it before, and what do you need to do now to get it done? It's important to keep learning. I'm going to be designing courses this year. I want to do 3 courses by the end of the year. I've already designed 1 course, and I learned a lot from that. And I'll do a 2nd course. It's probably not going to be that successful. I'm a new person. I'm a new instructor. but I'm going to try, and I'm probably going to learn something from that. That's going to help me with the next course and the next course after that. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly evolving. And as you achieve your goals, maybe you don't get them. Maybe you fail at your goals, but the most important thing is, did you learn something? And is it something you can apply to the next goal? Maybe I don't reach the 200 mark by December. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying. I'm going to push on until I get to it. It might take me 13 months, 15 months, 18 months, 2 years. It might take me 2 years to get there. I'm still going to try. So that's what learning is, and that's what special is as a whole. State your goals, plan it out, explore the options, create milestones, indict your plan, activate, and learn. And this works for me. And, I've shared this on the DDPY Facebook group, and a lot of people seem to like it. I'm not saying don't do the Smackdown system. If after hearing DDP talk about it, and it's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense for me, do it. Go for it. If it works, go for it. It just didn't happen to work for me, so I made it my own and found something that does work for me. Special. It works. It works for me. And as you saw from my picture, I already have it littered there. And I'm just going to take it off as I achieve my goals. I hope you have a special new year. Yes, I did use that as a pun. But for those that are still skeptical about this, I'm giving it glowing reviews. I'm giving it very good reviews. And my mind is starting to go, so I'm just going to talk gibberish. Stupid disability. Anyways, I can't talk enough about this. DDP is such an inspiration. He really inspires me. I love these weekly videos he has, the Motivational Mondays, and I just can't wait to get into the higher stuff. So check it out if you get the chance. I think it's worth having. I'm very excited by this. And once again, if there's something that doesn't fit for what you need, make it your own. It's from DDP himself. Anyways, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out my stuff down below. I have my Patreon. Trying to do better videos for the channel as a whole. A lot of things going to be coming up in 2019. I'm going to start doing more videos on this channel. But also, I want to get health insurance. I want to see a doctor to see if there's something that can be done for my disability. There's also my PayPal down below that if you don't want to use Patreon. Or consider buying one of my books. There's my website down below there, which will show you all of my books and where you can purchase them. And, it's not a whole lot of money, but when a book is bought, it increases its chances of being found by other people in search results. And lastly, check out my instructor page on Udemy.com. Udemy is a teaching website, and if you have a course in mind, you can go ahead and upload it there and teach it to people. And that is what I have done. I have designed my own course. There are more coming out. So that's going to do it for me today. This is Chris Vody.